A young student, pregnant and about to be expelled for not being able to pay her tuition, accepts a marriage of convenience. Her husband, the heir to an empire, Chin, plunged into unconsciousness. The matriarch of the family, his grandmother, blindly believes that the presence of this girl is the only prophecy that can awaken him. In return, her debts will be settled. But she must have intimacy with her husband. And the miracle happens. Chin wakes up. But in his eyes, there is no gratitude. But a glacial contempt. Who are you? What do you seek with this? She, humiliated, can only tell the truth. I need money. He expels her mercilessly, unaware of two devastating secrets. This woman is his legal wife, and in her womb, his heirs. Twins are growing. Alone and rejected by the father of her children, she decides to hide her condition to protect them. While the grandmother welcomes her as a savior, promising her a life of luxury, reality hits her. She must work, cleaning hotel rooms, enduring the mistreatment of her bosses. It is in this hostile environment that she meets Chin again. He does not recognize her, but feels an inexplicable connection with that pregnant girl, an intrigue he cannot ignore. When he sees a manager mistreating her, a protective fury he does not understand consumes him, and he fires the man on the spot, unknowingly defending his own family. But the real danger is not hidden in the hallways of a hotel, but in her own home. Her adoptive mother and brother, drowned in debt and greed, see her as a simple commodity. They plan to hand her over to a disreputable man for a dowry of $180,000, and the darkest detail of the plan, force her to lose the babies. They drug her against her will, drag her, and prepare her for the terrible act. In her last breath of consciousness, she makes a desperate call. "Darling, save me." That call reaches Chin. Alerted that his fugitive girlfriend is in a nightclub, he rushes there, driven by an impulse he still doesn't understand. The scene he finds is a nightmare. Her adoptive family, ready to do anything to harm the unborn babies. Chin's intervention is implacable. That pregnant girl is Mr. Chin's wife, his assistant announces, paralyzing the aggressors. He rescues her, taking her from that hell. The grandmother, upon learning of the atrocity, showers her with care and reaffirms her place in the family. The bond between Chin and her, though not yet love, is forged in the fire of protection. He is her guardian, and she, his unresolved mystery. The next battlefield is her university graduation. Her rival, Wang Li, president of the student council, orchestrates a public humiliation. She leaks manipulated photos, accuses her of leading a disorderly life and being a disgrace to the institution. To deliver the coup de grace, she bribes the protagonist's mother and brother, who testify against her, calling her shameless and a liar. Cornered, betrayed, and broken, she is expelled in front of everyone. It is her lowest point. But then, the doors open. Chin enters the auditorium, his imposing presence silencing the crowd. And with him, the grandmother. It is she who unleashes the truth like a bomb. "I may be old, but I would never forget my precious daughter-in-law." Chin's assistant confirms it. The pregnant girl and the contract wife are the same person. The scandal is reversed. Wang Li and the treacherous family are exposed and punished. Chin, for the first time, publicly takes her hand. And at that moment, another secret is revealed. A DNA report proves that she is, in fact, the biological and lost daughter of the wealthy Wen family. It seems like a fairy tale. She is received by the Wen family with a banquet and tears of happiness. But the dream quickly turns into a nightmare. She discovers that her biological parents and her siblings, in complicity with her adoptive sister Yan Qian, only want her for one reason: her connection with the Qin family. At the welcome banquet, they demand that she renounce her engagement and cede it to Yan Qian. When she refuses, they show her their true colors. They insult her, call her impure, physically assault her, and threaten her babies. The kindness was a farce, the welcome a trap. But she is no longer alone. Chin, alerted, bursts into the party. Seeing his wife mistreated, His fury is legendary. From today, he declares before everyone, if anyone bothers her, the Wen family will disappear from this world. He breaks all ties, taking her away and making it clear that the only family she needs now is his. When they finally find a fragile piece, a ghost from Chin's past returns to destroy everything. Her name is Zero, a manipulative woman who claims to have saved his life years ago, being left with consequences in the process. She presents herself as the true savior, and our heroine as a mere usurper. Her plan culminates at the twins' 100-day party. Zero publicly humiliates the young mother and then executes her final move. She gives Chin a substance to confuse him and takes his wife, leaving her at the mercy of a man with the worst intentions. It's a race against time. Chin, fighting the effects of the substance, desperately searches for her. He finds her just in time, saving her from a terrible fate. But the physical and emotional trauma is devastating. She goes into premature labor. She gives birth to her twins, a boy and a girl, but suffers a serious complication during childbirth. The doctors save the babies, but she falls into a deep coma. Chin is left with his children in his arms, but with the love of his life suspended between life and death. A year later, her eyes open. The reunion with her husband and one-year-old children is emotional, but the war is not over. A new enemy emerges, Tom Jin, a famous and arrogant singer in whom Chin had invested and who is obsessed with him. Seeing that she has lost her opportunity, she unleashes a harassment campaign. She incites her fans to attack Mrs. Quinn's new design studio, destroying it and tarnishing her name. But this time, Chin not only reacts, but anticipates. He organizes a massive banquet, a supposed wedding celebration that everyone believes is for him and Tom Jin. The singer arrives dressed as a bride, ready to claim her prize. But it's a trap. Chin projects a video on the screens that exposes how Tom Jin incited her fans to violence. He publicly humiliates her, clarifies that their relationship was always business and that she is nothing more than an employee. Then, to everyone's astonishment, he turns to his wife. The ceremony was not a farce. It was for her. He pulls out a ring and kneels. "You have fought against the whole world," he tells her. "Now let me give you the peace you deserve. Marry me." She, in tears, accepts. Their wedding, in front of those who tried to destroy her, is her final victory. Her story, which began with a cold contract, ends sealed by a love forged in battle, unbreakable and eternal.